You can't put it any plainer than that. Joining me now, Niger Innes, national spokesperson for the Congress on Racial Equality. Good to have you with us. And Tammy Bruce, Washington Times columnist, Fox Business contributor. Good to have you with us.
Hi,
Very
guys.
Quickly, what happened to the Paris Accord? And by the way, that looks really bad for the environment to watch all of those burning cars.
I'll tell you, that smoke, it's awful, all those tires burning. Niger and I were both laughing because I love the president. I love that man. It's hysterical, and he's absolutely correct. It's not looking too good for Paris, the Paris Accord. He warned Macron. He was mocked for warning him and the rest of the Europeans about the negative impact of the Paris Accord. He was doing it so that we would not be drawn into that maelstrom. He was doing it because he knew what would happen to fuel prices for anyone who was engaged in it. It's not like
And also
he just,
what would happen to their economies.
and their economies, clearly. And now, of course, they're having to deal with that. I think that for the world, of course, we have an interest in Europe growing up and realizing that this is not the way to behave. At the same time, the way that they can do that is to take Donald Trump seriously, to follow his advice, and to move forward in the direction that this country is moving forward in to save the collection of those nations.
Niger, there you have it. What do you think of the Paris Accords? Are you going to be for them tonight?
No, I don't think so, Lou. I've been in opposition to what we call the most regressive tax. It is a tax, a de facto tax on the poorest, most vulnerable populations in any society, be it in France or be it here in the United States. The uber rich can deal with these kind of de facto fuel taxes. But small businesses that want to develop, entrepreneurs that want to build a business, and just working class folk are rebelling against it. It's a populist revolt, and thank God. Viva la France!
Viva la France! Who
French
thought would be
fries!
saying that? The French people are reacting, and the middle class, as well as teachers, professionals. It is a society-wide revolt, except, of course, for the elites who still think they know best. But the French president and the U.S. president there couldn't be a much more stark difference between two leaders, unless you go north to Canada and Justin Trudeau. There's a pretty stark difference there as well. This president today talking about trade with China, and the national left-wing media, the business press, none are really being as effusive and, in my opinion, plauditory as they should toward the president. This is a president who is actually succeeding in moving China and the rest of the world, including the European Union, to balanced, reciprocal, fair trade. And Tammy, he deserves great credit for that.
Well, he does. And this is where I think for the American people, when we talk about, even forget about the phrase fake news, but about just wanting to get real reports about the nature of what's happening in the world, in order to be able to do that, you will be, in fact, praising Donald Trump, because the good news in the world is coming from his leadership and his influence. But it's a choice to not cover that, because it'll make the president look good.
And it's a choice to send every left-wing prosecutor in the state, federal prosecution system right after this president and his administration. We'll find out what's going on and what can be done about it. We'll hear more from Niger and Tammy in just a second. Stay with us. We'll be right back.